जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन गिरिवर जय गोपी जन गिरिवर यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना वनचारिया जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय माधवा कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhu Padai, Prabhu Padai, Prabhu Padai, Srila Prabhu Padai. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gita Gaura Hari Bol. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gita Gaura Hari Bol. नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for your valuable association. Very grateful to Nanmohan is saying no. But yeah, our host Vijay Mataji, Naren Mohan Prabhuji, so kind of them hosting here. Though Mata is not in a full strength to help, but she is still willing to host. So very grateful. Thank you so much.
They made so many prasadam.
And Mataji is told only little sambar, no, what is that? Rasam. And now she has made so many items. So Prabhuji and Mataji put together. So this is the heart of Vaishnava when they want to welcome everybody, though they are not in full capacity of service. So that's very wonderful. So thank you so much. We're very grateful to you. Okay. So we'll continue study from our Srimad Bhagavatam. And we'll begin with our Mangalacharana. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhisham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we'll continue study from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are still in Canto 1. We'll try to complete chapter 13 today. There are about 10 verses, but we'll try to cover them because then we can enter into a new chapter. Okay. So before we begin, I would like to pay my gratitude and just comment on this, that whatever that we are going to study today, it is all from our Srila Prabhupada's commentary, Perfect, and our Acharya's commentary. So there is no personal contribution from my side. Any glory, any good thing that you may like, it is all because of them. And if there is any error that you may please correct me and forgive me. Hare Krishna. I'd like to pay my obeisances to all the senior devotees who I listen to, take inspiration from them. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. So with that, let's begin the study. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So now, since we are talking about, it just reminded me of Prasad. Normally, when just tell you a short story on Ramanujacharya. So when Ramanujacharya was a Grihastha, then he took sannyas later on. So he would tell devotees when he want to invite devotees, he says, please bring prasad. Prasad dene aana. Matlab prasad dene ke liye aana. Come to give prasad. So now you are inviting somebody, say, why you call them to give prasad? Because you invite them to, we want to give them prasad. But you are calling, Bilasru, please come give prasad. So how is that? It looks a little weird. Do I have to bring anything? No. So here, Acharya says, when he says, please come to give prasad and invite someone, that means he is telling Vaishnavas to come and you honor that prasad that we have made so that we can eat that prasad. The bhoga that we have made, you honor, so it becomes prasad. So that is the mood. Like, when we offer to Krishna also, Krishna will just look at it and he accepts. Right? But how he will test? He will test to the Vaishnava. That's why we offer to Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then to Krishna. You see, Guru Maharaj, Mahaprabhu, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then to Krishna. Right? This is how we offer. So this is how the bhoga become prasad. Krishna tastes prasad, bhoga through his devotees, to his pure devotees. So therefore it is like, okay, please come and give prasad. So we should just come and honor. It's so wonderful. So like that, Mohan and Prabhuji has made so much bhoga prasad today for all the Vaishnavas. So very grateful, very kind of you. Thank you. Is it audible? You are able to hear?
Yeah,
The audio is okay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it is. Okay. So last time we finished till 49. I think we finished 49 words, if I remember correctly. Yes, 49. That's what I see in the bookmark. Yeah, right. So we talked about this, and previously we had seen focus only on Supreme Law, law of existence. Yeah, we studied all these things, right? Last time. Yes. So we talked about modes of nature and all those things. So this is very nice. And now we will continue to study further. So we're going to go verse number 50. So previously, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was lamenting primarily because he thought that I am taking care of Dhritarashtra, Gandhari. Now who will take care of them? He was lamenting on those mood. Hare Krishna, please come. He was lamenting on that mood, saying that who will take care? So what happened here? Acharya explained this. Maharaj Yudhishthira thought that he is the caretaker. You see? He thought he is taking care of Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and everyone. But then Narad Muni shatters his illusion, saying that no, you are not the caretaker. Who takes care? Krishna takes care. We may be the doer, we may be the instrument. But instrument is only as long as it is hands of the player. If Mridanga is not in Bilaswarupa's hand, he is going to play on its own? No, it won't play. Right? So we are like an instrument. Whichever way Krishna wants us to function, we will do it. And we have certain free will that we talked about, right? The example of cow tied with a rope. So Yudhishthira Maharaj illusion that, oh, I was taking care, now who will take care? That illusion was shattered by Narad Muni, saying that you are not the doer. Doer is who? The caretaker is Krishna. He is the supreme controller. He controls everything. He controls everything. So that was then. And Narad Muni says, just follow his plan. That's it. You don't do anything. Similarly, we also don't have to invent on things on our own, right? What is followed, what is there in the scripture? We just do it, we follow his plan. Okay. So, and they are telling the Lord has completed his duties, like, he has come, he's vanquished all the demons, all the killers have been done, Kamsa has gone, Duryodhan has gone, all the demons in Braj, everybody has been annihilated by him. He has finished, he has come to fulfill his mission, and he has completed that. So Narad Muni is telling him, it's all been taken care of. Why are you lamenting? Just follow his plan. So let us go and read this verse. Nispaditam deva krityam avashesham pratikshate tavat yuyam avekshadvam bhaved yadava yavad iheshwarah. Yes, Kavish, can you read? Last time we missed you.
Translation. The Lord has already performed his duties to help the demigods, and he is awaiting the rest. You Pandavas may wait as long as the Lord is here on earth. Hare
Krishna. So he's saying that Lord has already taken care of all these duties. Whatever he came for what? Who prayed? The Lord descended. All the devatas prayed, isn't it? Okay, please come. There's so much problem. So Krishna came. If you see the 10th canto, there's a prayer by demigod. Then Krishna advents. First chapter is a prayer by the devatas to welcome him. Please come. We are having so many problems. Like as a child is in trouble, who they call? Mommy, Papa, parent, help me, right? They will call, Daddy, please help. There's a snake in our backyard. Please help. Immediately they will remember only the parent. They won't get neighbor, uncle, please come. No, they will not call uncle. They will call daddy, mommy, like that. Why? But there is a direct connection. Similarly, we also, when we have problem, who we should call? Krishna. He's a supreme controller. He's a supreme caretaker. He's a supreme father. So we should just call him. So all the translation purport is by our beloved Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So in a purport, Prabhupada writes, Lord descends from his abode. What is his abode? Krishna Lok or Golok, the topmost planet in the spiritual sky, in order to help the demigod administrators of this material world when they are greatly vexed by the asuras. So when anybody is troubled, and if they take shelter of Krishna and ask for help, Krishna either come personally or send his representative. In some case, Krishna comes, some case representative. Everywhere time you need not, Krishna may not come, but he will send some representative to take care of that. We might have seen this example of where his representative come in many ways. When we are in trouble, he say, hey, what to do? And some devotee will come and say, Prabhu, ye lo. How do you know? No, but I don't know. I was just thinking and I gave it. It happens, isn't it? How? Krishna is Antaryami. He knows. If the purpose is going to help you in advancing spiritual activity, he will give that. Definitely give that. And sometimes he will disappoint if you ask something which is not favorable. Then no. Krishna will say, no, this is not for you. Don't go. Right? We want to go for a football game and we don't get a ticket. We should be happy. We save some money. Right? Not like people buying black tickets, right? There are thousands of dollars just for 145 1-hour match. Thousands of dollars. Crazy. So here, Krishna Lok. So why is Krishna topmost? Because say, Aryadyo Bhagwan Brajestanayas Tad Dhama Vrindavana. This is Vrindavan. This is the topmost abode. Further, Prabhupada writes that Lord always protects, including the devotees in higher planets, prayed to the Lord for free leave, and the Lord either descends personally from his abode or deputes some of his devotees to remodel the fallen condition of human society. So either he comes, like Prabhupada came. Prabhupada is an empowered Acharya. Somebody who cannot just come and start preaching and create so many devotees and so many temples, it's not possible, right? But he was able to do it. Why? Because Krishna empowered. Krishna empowered some souls and say, okay, you go ahead and do this. Because there's so much problem. So Prabhupada is empowered. And that's how he came. And Prabhupada further writes, the fallen condition of human society or even animal society. You can see even animal society protection Krishna will send, right? Such disruptions take place not only in human society but also among animals, birds, or other living beings, including the demigods in the higher planets. Lord Shri Krishna descended personally to vanquish asuras like Kamsa, Jarasandh, and Shishupal. And during the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, almost all these asuras were killed by the Lord. Everything was taken away by Krishna. So we should understand that Krishna is supreme. There are so many examples, so many pastimes are given, but still sometimes we have doubt that is Krishna supreme, right? Then we need to deepen our understanding, deepen our studies in this Shastra. Whenever we have these kind of doubts, we should take shelter of the scripture all the time. That is the best thing to do. Next verse, we'll go next. So now 51 to 16, Narad is revealing. See, now actually the question that Yudhishthira Maharaj asked is being answered. What did Yudhishthira Maharaj ask? Where is my uncle? And morning he wakes up and where they have gone? So Narad Muni did not say he is gone to forest. No. Why? Because if he say they have gone to Himalaya, he said, okay, I will go and bring them back. I will follow. So he did not tell them. But what did he tell? He gave the philosophy first. Right? That you are not the caretaker. Krishna is there. And they are not the body, they are the soul. That protection will be given. Why you worry? There is no lamentation. So everything was clear. The philosophy was given. So now Yudhishthira Maharaj is fixed and understands. Okay, now you tell me where they have gone. So now he is being revealed. So we can see that when a question is not answered immediately sometimes, sometimes we ask question to the speaker in the assembly. And the speaker may not give a direct response. They will tell you that this is this, and then we understand, okay, from this we understand. So there is a very important thing that we have to learn here. So let's go to verse 51 and 52, which is primarily going to talk about the places. So Narad Muni is now telling that where exactly they are for the satisfaction of Yudhishthira Maharaj, and knows that now that Yudhishthira Maharaj has enlightened, he will not go there. He knows. But still he is giving full detail. So what does it mean? Now, that means Narad Muni is having a knowledge of the future. He is Trikalgyan. He can know what's going to be next moment, right? So not just the Lord, but his pure devotees can also know what is going to happen in future. So he is empowered. Narad Muni is a very empowered Acharya. So let's recite this verse, verse 51. Dhritarashtra saha bhratra Gandharya cha swabharyaya Dakshinena himavata Rishinam ashramam gata. Why? Are you going to read? Okay.
Uncle Dhritarashtra, his brother Vijaya, and his wife Gandhari have gone to the southern side of Himalaya mountain, where there are shelters of the great sea.
So now he has revealed where they have gone. So normally whenever somebody goes, we say they have gone to north. So north means they have gone towards Himalayas. That's where everybody goes when they want to become renounced order of life. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, to pacify the mourning Maharaj Yudhishthira, Narad first of all spoke from the philosophical point of view. And then he began to describe the future movement of his uncle, which he could see by his foreseeing power, and thus began to describe as follows. So see, here Prabhupada is writing because he was able to foresee where they have gone. You can see, right? And first he gave the philosophical view. Otherwise, Yudhishthira Maharaj has all the power to follow up and get them back and say, I'll send my army, I'll go personally to bring them back. No, not required. And what is being said is that he gone to the shelter of great sages. Where the great sages live, the place become a tirtha. See, when dham is what? Lord has come and gone. But it is still a dham because the sages live there. Vrindavan is dham, not just because Lord came there, he did his pastime and went back. No, now there are great saints live in the dham. If there is no great saints living in a dham, that dham doesn't remain dham anymore. There are so many places, temples and all that, where they have become abandoned because there are no devotees. So what's the point? So therefore, when we go to the dham, then it is important not just to take darshan, mangalarti and all that in the temple, but also meet the sadhus who are living there. They are doing tapasya. Because of their potency, their power, the place becomes dham. So this is a very important siddhanta that we all must understand. So where they have gone to the southern side of Himalayas, and they are living in a hut, in a hermitage. So they're living there. Okay. Let's go to verse number 52. So here, one thing is mentioned. This reference I got, basically, let's read this verse. Siddhanta baliya chitte nakare alas. Ihaha ite Krishna lage sudhar manas. Yes, Bilasu, can you read this?
Yes, sir. A sincere student should not neglect the discussion of such conclusions, considering them controversial. For such discussions strengthen the mind. Thus, one's mind becomes attached to Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this point is telling that, why the philosophy is important in our life. Just Harikatha, Prabhuji, Harikatha. No, Harikatha is good. I mean, it gives entertainment kind of thing. But what is the philosophy behind that? Why we should listen? The philosophy is more important because that is the one which will take us closer, because that will remove the doubts that we have in our mind. Right? Sometimes so many Harikathas are happening, but just Harikatha does not help. If you keep eating sweet, how much you can eat? Right? You need all the rasas. So therefore, here even Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is telling here that Siddhanta baliya chitte na kare alas. Understanding philosophy, don't try to be, lazy in understanding philosophy. Very important. Philosophy is more important than the story. But since we cannot just take philosophy, it becomes very dry also sometimes. So therefore, it is along with the story, pastime, everything is being told. But the Siddhantas are more important. We should always pay attention to this. It might look like it is creating a disturbance because when we discuss, there is a difference of opinion between devotees, right? But still, that should not be given up. We should discuss, and healthy discussion must happen. And then take shelter of the scripture to understand Siddhanta and then move forward. That's why Narad Muni told him the Siddhanta, the philosophy first, and then he said, okay, they are in Himalayas. So where exactly he has gone? Okay, so he says, verse number 52. Stotrobhi saptamirya vai Swardhuni saptadha vyadhat Saptanam priyate nana Sapta stotra prachakshate. Yes. Abba, can you read? Let me make it bigger.
The
Thank you.
place is called Saptasrota, divided by 7, because there the waters of the sacred Ganges were divided into 7 branches. This was done for the satisfaction of the 7 great rishis.
Hare. So where they have gone? They have gone to a place called Saptasrota. Saptasrota is a place where the Mother Ganga is divided into seven branches. So studied by the 7 rishis, like the Atri, Bharadwaj, Jaimini, and all the Gautam Rishi, all those things. Kashyap, Jamdagni, and all that. So there is a history behind. We'll not go there. But important is that that place where the sages lived, right? That becomes very pious. Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. Wherever the sages live, that is the pious place. So that's what they are going to there. So what happens when we go to do tapasya on Chattahoochee River, and if you go to do tapasya in Yamuna River, there's a huge difference, isn't it? So where is your mind when you are in Yamuna? You are absorbed in the Krishna Leela, because that's the place is a tirtha, and this is a normal water body. Of course, this is also fine, but compared to Yamuna, this is no way. Therefore, even Dhruv Maharaj, when he was young, Narad Muni told him, go and do your tapasya at the banks of Yamuna in Madhuvan, right? He was sent there. Why? Because that's a tirtha. So tirtha are more important, and that helps. Like if you are here, chanting becomes a little difficult. If you're in Vrindavan, what happens? It's easy, it's natural. Because you see, everybody is moving and chanting only. And we feel like, oh, I'm like an outcast if I'm not chanting, isn't it? And through that, we are forced to chant. The atmosphere is surcharged with spiritual energy that we will be forced to chant, right? So the advantage of going in a dham and chanting and doing this practice is very beneficial. Huge benefit comes. Not just like, we say that we chant 1 round, become 1,000 round there. That is all calculation, which is okay. But we should go with saying that I'm going to go there to get association, to advance my spiritual practices, and to remove my anarthas. All this, when we see these things, we have to go with this kind of mood. Now, what practice is going to do? They are there in the Himalaya. What are they doing? So now he's telling you more detail. They are told now the location. Now say, what are they doing? That's what Narad Muni is further going to tell. Text number 53. Snatvanusavanam tasmi Utva chagnin yathavidhi Abhaksha upashantatma sa aste vigataish Yes, Akshat, can you read?
On the banks of Dhritarashtra is now engaged gaining Ashtanga Yoga by bathing 3 times daily, in the morning, noon, and evening, by performing the Agni Putra sacrifice with fire and by drinking only water. This helps one control the mind and senses and frees one completely from thought of familiar affection.
Thank you, Vedant. So what he's doing? He is doing Ashtanga Yoga, right? Now this is helpful when people are coming from a lower mode, right? They want to purify and all that. Then this is helpful. Just Ashtanga Yoga does not help. So Prabhupada writes in a purport. This is an important point for all of us to know. Prabhupada says, the yoga system is a mechanical way to control the senses and mind and divert them from matter to spirit. It's a mechanical way. You say, okay, you keep looking at this light bulb and that whatever tratak something. They look at the flame of the candle and they keep looking like this. And then sometimes they say, look at this corner where they both and meet. Just look at that corner and meditate upon it. Now that's so. It's all mechanical, right? But in bhakti, it is very natural, very natural. Bhakti is not something that you separate from your personal and professional life. It is all combined together. It is not that when I'm in office, I'm different, I'm here, I'm different. No. If I'm sober here, I'm sober in office too. Right? So, bhakti marg is if somebody thinks that practicing bhakti in office is different and here is different, it is not. It's actually one and the same thing. We don't have to mechanically do that. Now, Prabhupada writes further in this purport, and in the purport down, he says, Sri Narad Dev was just foretelling the way of his spiritual progress in a place which was sanctified by the flow of the celestial Ganges. Drinking water only without solid food is also considered fasting. So if you don't eat food, you just drink water, it is fasting. So like Amrish Maharaj, when he was fasting on Ekadashi, he wanted to break fast. Then Durasa Muni also came and he went to take bath, and then the time for Paran was going. So he says, I'll just take a drop of water. He just takes it. And Durasa Muni gets angry. But that is still fasting. He did not break, but he was still fasting. So this is like that. If you just drink water, it's called fasting. That's why on Ekadashi, if you just drink water, it's still fasting. Right? So we can do Ekadashi like that. And Prabhupada writes further that this is necessary for advancement of spiritual knowledge. Fasting is required. We do fasting. Like Radha Ashtami was there. Tomorrow Ekadashi is coming. We all will fast, right? Tomorrow is fasting. So we can fast. Because it helps us in advancing. Now the scientists also tell there are a lot of scientific benefits also, which is all good. But the purpose is to become more close to Krishna by restraining some of our senses. The jiva is a very, very, very dangerous sense. It's very difficult to control. You go to Sunday feast and you see gulab jamun made by Ghanshyam Prabhu, and you can't tell me, probably can I have one more? You always want one extra. It is so tempting. So that controlling that is so difficult. That's why people go to the Ashtanga Yoga, okay, I'm going to fast, and do only few items to eat, those kind of things. Like Chaturmas is going on. This month we don't eat yogurt. Next month, I think from 19th onwards or something, we are not going to have milk. These are all for controlling our senses in a way that we don't hanker. Like something, every day morning somebody is habituated to drink Gopal tea. Now 1 month no Gopal tea. So what to do? Or Gopal tea without milk. Something like that. So then that becomes an austerity, isn't it? See, this certain thing that is not in our life, if we feeling above means the void, then, oh, this is not there, that means life is not complete. Those things goes away when you do fasting and all these things. That I can manage without this also. Otherwise, some people think, I cannot, I have to have it. I have to have it morning tea, breakfast. That's why people have bed tea and bed breakfast. Everything comes on the bed. Because they cannot begin even day without having that. Like, people in our, US morning when we have call at 7 o'clock, oh, I haven't had my caffeine yet. They start and say, oh, sorry, I heard. They have not had coffee. So they say, I haven't had my caffeine yet, so I'm not able to pay attention. I mean, that's our condition. They are completely depend on these things. That without that they cannot begin. So at least as a devotee, we should not have any dependency, regardless of food is there, not there, upas, not there. Just they should begin. And that can come through practice. Prabhupada writes here, a foolish man wants to be a cheap yogi without observing the regulative principles. A man who has no control over the tongue at first can hardly become a yogi. If we cannot control our tongue, very difficult to become a yogi. Not possible. We see nice prasad and immediately we want to have more. Can we get more? Can I take home? All this tomorrow morning I will eat. And this thing not coming because this is tongue. Our tongue is so. Prabhupada says, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya, Jivara lalsa iti uti dhai. I want to go here, I want to go there. Shishnodara Paran, Krishna nahi pai. Prabhupada says, you cannot get Krishna if you are going here and there. No way. If you cannot give up certain forbidden food in our life, initially people find it so difficult to give up onion, garlic. Probably how can we even begin? Tadka kaise lagayenge? How will you put even tadka without onion, garlic? So difficult. After becoming devotee, say, yeah, it's all possible. How the miracle happens? It's so easy. But the test, people say, no, I cannot taste, so that's why I have to add onion. No, just give it up. It works so well. If you give somebody a prasad, they will not even understand there is onion garlic is there or not. They will say, this is so good. And when we tell them there is onion, is it? They will get surprised. How come it's so tasty? But it is even tastier than with onion garlic. So eat it like that. But because the change is very hard to implement, it's resistant. Body always, mind always says, no, no, no change. That's why it is difficult. But here Prabhupada writes it, everywhere it is written. If anybody who cannot control the tongue cannot become a yogi, not possible. Yogi and bhogi are two opposite terms. The bhogi is the merry man who eats and drinks, cannot be a yogi. For a yogi, are never allowed to eat and drink unrestrictedly. Anytime you are eating in the morning, you are supposed to eat 2 times or maximum 3 times, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, for example. In between, also, we're eating something. Chalo, okay, chips, new packet. Start eating. Or something, whatever there, something. We should have a restricted time. I will eat only at this time, this time. If you see all the health experts nowadays, what they say? 16-hour fasting, something like that, 16-hour intermittent fasting. After 6 o'clock, don't eat anything. And eat next day morning at 10 o'clock. So that becomes 16-hour fasting. Like that. Why? Because that helps in the, it develops healthy body. And if you have a healthy body, then what is important? What you can do your sadhana well. Prabhupada always gave importance to health first. He says health is most important. Because if you are unhealthy, what can you chant? Even if you are chanting, where is your mind? Mind is not in chanting. Mind is somewhere else. My body is having pain, this, that. Therefore, health is more important. Then comes chanting. Automatically, chanting will be taken care of. Then comes reading. Reading comes later. But first is health. Take care of health. Very important. So we all must practice, healthy lifestyle so that we remain healthy. And that way, automatically, the tongue will be controlled slowly. If you have 16-hour intermittent fasting, that means I'm not going to eat anything after that, isn't it? So easy to do. But tongue, very difficult to control. Both eating as well as speaking. These two things the tongue does, and both are very difficult to control. We may note with profit how Dhritarashtra began his yoga system by drinking water only and sitting calmly in a place with a spiritual atmosphere, deeply absorbed in the thoughts of Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. How he was able to do this? Just by following instructions of Vidur. Just by following instructions of Vidur. Therefore, dear devotees, it is important to have association of good devotees in our life. Very important. Because when our mind is confused, when situation is not clear what to do, I don't know what to do, then we should have somebody who we can call. We should take advice from and say what to do. Prabhuji, Mataji, I'm not able to understand. Should we do this? Should we not do this? And then follow that instruction. But I have a trusty person. Like, sometimes we do shopping. I will call 3, 4 and say, and then I will choose which is most convenient to me. We should not do that. That is not correct. So here, because Dhritarashtra spoke with the pure devotee and implemented the advice given by him, same person, he was able to perform this. Otherwise, it is not possible. So what did he do? He did, in the first day, he says, Upashantatma. Upashantatma means controlling mind, which is very difficult. Upashantatma is controlling the mind. Then he did Vigataishnaha. Vigataishnaha means he is able to family welfare. He is given a family. Now already I am doing yoga. I don't need to think of what's happening in Hastinapur. It's all. Yudhishthira is taking care. I don't need to worry. Which is something like we do take care of, call it a Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means we have given things to our kids. They're taking care. I don't need to bother. Now I'm completely focused and absorbed in Krishna. We should always be thinking on those lines. We are always thinking of Krishna. Otherwise, it's very difficult to control our mind. Mind will always go where our thoughts are. Always, wherever thoughts are, mind will just keep running behind that. Okay, let's go to next verse number 54. Jita sato jita swaswa pratyarita sad nindriya hari bhavanaya dvasta raja sattva tamo malaha. Yes, Priyansh, can you read?
One who has controlled the sitting postures, the yogi asanas, and the breathing process can turn the senses toward the absolute personality of Godhead, and thus becomes immune to the contaminations of the modes of material nature, namely mundane goodness and passion and ignorance.
Hare Krishna. So here one point is mentioned. Sitting posture is very important. If you're not comfortably sitting, like in a lecture, then our mind is not in the katha. We are thinking here, we're scratching here, what to do, because we are not comfortable. So whenever we go to temple, find a comfortable place and sit. That's very important, right? Somebody has a problem with the back, yeah, find a place where you can rest and then sit, so that you are attentive. We don't have to show that I can control and all that. No, we are not do any heroic activity. We just need to be comfortable where we can, and absorption is more important. Sometimes you say, I want to see the speaker, but that's okay if you're not with them. We can see the speaker through our ears, which is more absorbing. Because when you are seeing, there's so many distractions. But if you are hearing, that's why many devotees, what they do, they don't listen to YouTube videos. They listen to audio lectures. Then there is no distraction. But when you say video, there's thousands of things happening on that. Maharaj is speaking, but there are person who's scratching. He's also here. You're listening to lecture, or you're looking at people who are in the lecture. So therefore, a lot of people, they hear audio lecture, not see the video. Okay. So here, what is happening? Jitasana. Jitasana means sitting in a controlled posture. If you see in yoga system, they have to sit like, Padmasana and sit like that. Back is upright, sitting and doing. So that he has done. Pratyahara. Pratyahara means what? Controlling all the food habits and all those things. He's controlling all those things. So that's happening. So we can see that he is doing all this activity to purify himself, to get absorbed in Krishna. And he's doing through the Ashtanga Yoga. Now here Prabhupada writes, and this is something that we can understand. Because see, sometimes we think that we are in mode of goodness, which is good. No, it is not good. It is good, definitely, in a way, but it is not the best for becoming a best devotee. Prabhupada writes here. He says, even the highest mode, the material mode of goodness is also a cause of material bondage. And what to speak of the other qualities, namely passion and ignorance. Even the mode of goodness can be binding. Very difficult. Passion and ignorance increases the material propensities of hankering of material enjoyment, and a strong sense of lust provokes the accumulation of wealth and power. So if you are in mode of ignorance and passion, then we are going to accumulate more and more. So how to define we are in mode of goodness? What is the definition that I'm in mode of goodness?
Peace.
Now we are at peace, okay? We are at pious activity. No, activity is fine, you do, but when we should feel that, what kind of thoughts should tell you that we are in mode of goodness?
Yes, thinking of Krishna.
Think of Krishna, okay?
Serving Krishna.
Okay. What about any material activities that we are doing? In which, how do we feel we are in mode of goodness?
Service.
No, if you are doing any
Meditation or.
No, if you are in a, let's say we are in office and we want to say we are satisfied, we are in mode of goodness. How? Are we thinking of increase in salary, promotion, better job? Then we are not in mode of goodness. Mode of goodness means that we are satisfied is what we have, especially on the material plane. Because the moment we are not in mode of goodness, that means we are going to do more than passion. I want to earn more. I want to get this. I want to get this done. Next. And there is no end to that. Right? It is said, right, that the world has everything for one's need, everyone's need, but doesn't have
Everything
one's
for one's
greed.
sake.
So even if the whole world is given, people are not happy. The billionaires who are there, Elon Musk or Bezos and everything, they are still racing. I want to be number one. 200 million, where they will spend? But still, this is what it is. There is no end to that. So therefore, we should say, I'm going to do here and finish. And that's it. I'll be happy. I don't want to keep increasing my. The moment you think of keep increasing our comfort, I want to have this, then there is no end. It will keep on increasing only. So that means we are not in mode of goodness. So we should think like that. That we should be happy with whatever, but we should never be satisfied in our spiritual activity. Chanted 6 rounds, okay, Hari Bol, now next day morning. No. If you have time, you will just pick up and we see Bhagavatam. Just because today's class, I will pick up Bhagavatam and read. No, that is not. We should read every day. Right? That's why we have this reading session where we are at least connected, something we are doing. Right? So that's why we can remain in mode of goodness. Prabhupada writes here, one who has conquered these two base mentalities and has raised himself to the platform of goodness, which is full of knowledge and morality, cannot also control the senses, namely the eye, the tongue, the nose, the ear, and touch. Now, this is very heavy thing Prabhupada is telling. Even in a mode of goodness, somebody says he is moral, he is good behavior, he is the gentleman. Still, these things cannot be controlled. Very difficult. Of course, it has got its own advantages, like, a person should be moral, good behavior, all this is required. But just being in goodness doesn't help. We should help ourselves to rise from mode of goodness to Vishuddha Sattva. And that can only happen if we take shelter of Krishna. Only happen. Prabhupada writes here. Prabhupada writes, see. But one who has surrendered himself unto the lotus feet of Lord Hari, as above mentioned, can transcend all influences of the modes of material nature and be fixed in the service of the Lord. So only if we take shelter of Krishna, then only we can rise above the mode of goodness. Because mode of goodness can also cause the fall down. There are so many examples there in Bhagavatam. Bharat Maharaj, mode of goodness only. Compassion. Isn't it mode of goodness? Compassion is mode of goodness. He fell down. Yeah. So it is very, in fact, when Mataji was asking one question to our Guru Maharaj, his name is Radhanasevi Maharaj, and she was giving example, she has two sons. One son from the childhood was like, very well behaved, everything nice, listening to parents, and everything was good. And other son was like, not so like, musty kind of thing, doing all those activities and all that. So they thought that the boy who's a good will become a devotee, but it turned out to be completely opposite. Because this guy was mode of goodness, the boy who was well behaved and all that. And this boy seems to be in mode of passion, right? But it was found that the boy who was in mode of passion and ignorance kind of thing at that time, he became a very wonderful devotee. So Mataji was confusing that what happened, how come the person who was so nicely behaved in his childhood suddenly, is always in mode of goodness, he did not become a devotee. So Maharaj says, the mode of goodness is a problem. Because what happens in the mode of goodness, what happens? We get pride. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. People are praising me. This happens, the pride happens, and then we cannot practice bhakti. Very difficult. I know this, I can do this. That is, we are in mode of goodness. Like somebody who can remember Bhagavad Gita, no problem. Mode of goodness, but ignore now the pride. Oh, I can remember, nobody can speak Bhagavad Gita like me. So that's a pride. And then that does not allow us to progress further in bhakti. So mode of goodness is also a problem. Therefore, mode of goodness we should not just stay there. We should use that to elevate ourselves, to take shelter of Krishna, and then we can advance further. So this is a very important point that Prabhupada is making here. Prabhupada writes that the Bhakti Yoga process, therefore, directly applies the senses to the loving service of the Lord. And that's the only way we can control our senses. We cannot control senses through Ashtanga Yoga. No. There are so many yogis. We have seen Saubhari Muni doing tapasya under Yamuna in the water for thousands of years. Just by seeing one scene. Married 50 princess. Vishwamitra, same thing. He was doing yoga. What happened? So this yoga system does not work completely. Of course, it helps you elevate to a certain level, but once you are at that level, then you should change and say, okay, I'm not now going to do bhakti. This is very important. Because in mode of goodness, we don't listen to others' advices. I know it. Why should I listen to others? Oh, I have read Bhagavatam 10 times. What are you telling me? I can tell you which verse, what is Prabhupada is saying. Now there is mode of goodness, but then that's a pride has kicked in, and then we don't listen to others. Right? I know everything. Those kind of thing comes. And they think that I'm always right. And that also comes in mode of goodness. So these are the problems that comes with mode of goodness. Right? But we should try to use mode of goodness to elevate ourselves, to launch ourselves to the next. So what's the result of this? So he did practices. Now see the result in the next two verses. That yes. So let's read verse number 55. Yes. Vijnanatmani sanyojya Kshetragne pravilapyatam Brahmanya atmanam dhare Ghatambaram ivambare.
Translation. Dhritarashtra will have to amalgamate his pure identity with intelligence and then merge into the Supreme Being with knowledge of his qualitative oneness as a living entity, with the Supreme Brahman. Being freed from the block sky, he will have to rise to the spiritual sky. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Dhritarashtra will merge into Supreme Being. That means he will get liberated. That's what Narad Muni is predicting. This is what's going to happen. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, here, this is the highest perfectional development of spiritual identity, which was attained by Dhritarashtra by the grace of Vidur and the Lord. Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Beach. If we can always get bhakti only by mercy of Guru and Krishna. Now, there is a very famous song which keeps going on nowadays, no? That what are you singing? Krishna Krupa Ho Tabi Krishna Ka Naam Le Sake. The Madhva's rock band. Right? Somebody sent me. It was a nice tune. Basically, it says that only if Krishna bestows mercy on a soul, that person can chant Krishna's name. Otherwise, it is not possible. So when Krishna sends his empowered soul, like a guru, then Guru can shower his mercy and then we can start chanting. We can take name of Hari. Otherwise, it is not possible. So many times we feel somebody is here living in neighborhood, seeing a festival, so many things, not able to come. Why? There is no mercy has not yet come. Mercy has not yet come. So we need this mercy. And therefore, associating some service somebody has to do. In fact, in Rishabh Dev's, this is a verse which says, Mahaseva Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. One can attain the path of liberation from the material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. If we do Mahaseva, from there our journey begins. It may be Agya Sukrit, means we did it unknowingly. But even that unknowing service will yield benefits. It will give benefits because some advanced devotee was done some service. We have done some service to them. Indirectly, knowingly, unknowingly, no problem. And then our journey begins. Like I was our Ram Prabhu is here, he's not here. Ram Prabhu. So Ram Prabhu has introduced one of his friend or colleague maybe somewhere when he was living in Richmond before coming to Atlanta. Now that person has become Brahman Dikshit devotee. And Ram Prabhu is practicing devotee. So you can see that somebody, because he would have done some seva, something must have happened. And we can see the difference. So point is that, we should all try to serve the Vaishnavas. That's what when we say when Vaishnavas are coming here in Atlanta, we should do. That's why I was saying, next week we have the full evening classes, every day 7 o'clock by Devakinandan Prabhuji. So we should get associated, at least one day we should go. Out of these 7 classes he is going to give, one class we should go and listen in person, sit in front of him. Because these devotees are not ordinary. They all are empowered. They all are empowered. Therefore, we should try to get their association, serve them. And this evening, 7 o'clock is a very nice time. We have done our office work and everything is taken care of. We can go and spend 1 hour and just be there. There are so many different nice topics out there. If you have seen that communication in the temple. Monday is on the chanting. Why we should chant. Chanting is so important. That class is there, is coming only. So please RSVP to those hosts and attend those programs, because that is very important. Associating with the devotee, especially the advanced devotee, is so important. Yeah. Next verse Prabhupada writes, let's read the verse first. Oh, here. Yeah, 56. Dvasta maya gunodar ko niruta karanashaya nirvita khilahara aste sthanur ivachala tasyantarayo bhaivabhu sanyastakhila karmana. Yes, Rishikesh, can you read that?
He will have to suspend all the actions of the senses, even from the outside, and will have to be impervious to interactions of the senses which are influenced by the modes of material nature. After renouncing all material duties, he must become immovably established beyond all sources of hindrances on the path. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here Prabhupada writes in a purport, Dhritarashtra had attained by the yogic process the stage of negation of all sorts of material reactions. The effects of the material modes of nature draw the victim to indefatigable desires of enjoying matter. But one can escape such false enjoyment by the yogic process. Every sense is always busy in searching for its food. See? Every sense. Eyes is looking to look at some nice things. Tongue is looking to eat something nice, prasad. Or ears are listening to hear some good music, right? Before coming to devotee, before becoming a devotee, if you have seen some movies, if that song comes, ear will immediately go there. And will start even chanting will go away. We'll just immediately go back to that song. Why? The ears are trained to do that. The senses are so difficult to control, right? It's like that. So they are always searching for the food. Everything is searching for the food. And you can see that Prabhupada writes such an amazing. He said, and thus the conditioned soul is assaulted from all sides and has no chance to become steady in any pursuit. In any pursuit, the soul is not. Those who are very successful, they have at least some control over certain things, right? Either materially or spiritually. Material also, they have controlled so many things, then only they can be successful. Otherwise, it's not possible. Maharaj Yudhishthira was advised by Narad not to disturb his uncle by attempting to bring him back home. He was now beyond the attraction of anything material. So when somebody is absorbed in spiritual practice, then we should not disturb them. Why is saying, and I'll tell you one story, Stoka Krishna Prabhu was a devotee in, Mumbai, in Chopadi temple. Now he was a brahmachari, then he accepted Grihastha ashram. And he had a very wonderful wife, right? And after marriage, within like 3-4 years, he developed cancer. And he was to leave body. And he is going to leave behind a wife and a 2-year-old daughter. Now life is so difficult. Now, Stoka Krishna Prabhu is in a hospital. Maharaj goes to meet him and it says he's going to leave body anytime, like that, any day he can leave body. So Maharaj told, his wife would come and meet, and she's also devotee, everything. But Maharaj told that you focus only on Krishna, nothing else. Just focus on Krishna. No thinking of anything else. And there are devotees who are chanting, who are reading Bhagavatam, doing kirtan, all this different interval, everything is happening like that. And his wife, once Maharaj told, wife did not come in the room. She stayed outside and chanted. His wife understood that my love to see my husband leaving and I want to be with him at the last moment is at bodily level. But at the soul level, what is her duty? To let him remember Krishna when he leaves his body. So she stayed out and not even she brought the daughter in front of him. But at that time, his mind will go in, what will happen to my daughter? What will happen to my wife? Who will take care? And Maharaj gave an assurance that we as a congregation, Gopinath congregation will take care of your wife and child. Don't worry about that. And we can see this is a video on YouTube. You can just search for it. There's a beautiful video. It's very nice. So we can see that this is how we need somebody in our life to give guidance. That do this. Forget about everything else. Just focus on this. When we are in a trouble situation, when the life is going through turbulences, then we need somebody who can tell us, do this. Karnadhar is required, who can guide us. Right? And our love should be exhibited at the soul level, not at the body level. I want to see my husband or see my wife. No. Let them get absorbed because that is the best thing that we can give it to them at that time. It's so important. So, this is, but otherwise mind is always looking at, we are always thinking, and we don't know when we are going to leave body. Body goes and we are thinking about our wife and child. What happened? Again, come back in this life. So this is very important.
But if both of them are devotees and he's thinking about them, so will he get birth in a devotee family?
Yeah, that happens.
Sangha of devotees?
Yes, that happens that you become a devotee, but then you really don't want to come back, right? I mean, you definitely don't want to come back. The whole point is why we are trying to get rid of this. We want to just break the cycle of this birth and life, right? We don't want to this death, birth and death and birth and death and birth and death. How many times? Millions of lives we have lived. Now that we know that we have to break this chain. So yes, if Krishna wants us to do that and something happens, that's fine. But our goal is that I want to go there. And we should focus on the highest. And then let Krishna tell, no, you still be there, do some preaching and come back afterwards. That's fine. But our focus is Krishna, I want to be with you. Then Krishna will tell, okay, now you stay there. Whatever it is. But still, at the last moment, if family members are around, the mind always goes on family members. Best is to have surrendered with the devotees. So when he was a Gaurang Prabhu is there, Gaur Govardhan Prabhu is in the room, they are all chanting, listening. So how nice it is, isn't it? Because he was a brahmachari, so he was attached with all of them so closely. Maharaj personally came to see him. So like that. So we have to always remain absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, and that way we can leave our body thinking about Krishna only. Otherwise, even deer can put us in trouble. The pets that we may have, who will take care of the fish, goldfish in mind, and then we become goldfish in the Atlantic Ocean. Where are we? In the corals. That's a problem. So now he's going to talk about the departure, because Yudhishthira Maharaj may want to bring him back. Still he's saying he's already departing now. So he's telling now. Sava adyatanatrajan parata panchame hari kalevaram hasyati swam taccha bhashmi bhavishyati. Sorry, Jessica,
Translation. O king, he will feed his body, most probably on the 5th day from today, and his body will turn to ashes.
Ashes. Hare Krishna. So what is going to, his body is going to turn to ashes. So as you know, in our body we have this Panch Mahabhut. One of them is fire. So when you increase the fire element in the body becomes effulgent. It can burn itself, right? So that's what, when the yogis, they can perform this. Any example like this, when somebody self-emulated himself or herself?
Sati.
Sati, yes, Sati is one. Who else? There's one more. Ramayana, and story comes, Ramayana. No, Sita went to the fire pit, but she did not. Ravan was cursed. Vedavati. When he touched Vedavati, she self-emulated herself. But she gave a curse that if you touch anyone without her consent, then you will die. So therefore, Ravan, though he brought Mother Sita, he was not forcing her. He was just, yes, he was trying to do many things, but not forcing. So that is. So Vedavati also ignited fire from her body and turned to ashes. So the Siddha Purush, those who have got mystic power now, they can all do this. They can increase the fire element in the body, and then body can burn. So that's what happened here. So here the purport Prabhupada writes, Dhritarashtra would not be in need for any funeral ceremony. Now this is being told because he says, okay, he's going to leave his body. Okay, let me go and bring him back. Who will do his funeral? Then he said, no, you don't need, because you don't need a funeral. It is taken care by himself. Narad Muni indicated that his body by itself would burn to ashes. The perfection of the yoga system is attained by such mystic power. The yogi is able to quit his body by his own choice of time and can attain any planet he desires by turning the present body into ashes by self-made fire. See? Easy journey to other planets. Read that book. Prabhupada written that. We can go back to any planet of our desire, like moon. Okay, I want to go to moon. Just yoga system and perform, and you can go to moon. But we are not for moon. We want to go to Goloka. So we are doing that practice. But yes, one can go to place that they desire, and they can leave the body the time they think. I want to leave body at 5 o'clock. Okay. Like Bhishmadev, he had that Vardhan, right? He had that boon that he can leave body Ichhamurti. He can leave his body whenever he wants. He will not die. Otherwise, who will live with so many arrows pierced from the body? Nobody. But he is living. So what happens now? He will have further question. Oh, Dhritarashtra will die, and what will happen to Gandhari? So Narad Muni is further telling, okay, next let me tell you something more. So See, Narad Muni understand the read the mind of Yudhishthira and he keep giving one after another. So that Yudhishthira Maharaj stays calm, stays there and doesn't rush for that. What's number 58? Dahayamane Ganibhidehe Patyu Patni Sahotaje Bahisthita Pati Sadhvi Tamagnim Anu Vekshati. Yes. Vikas, you can read.
Translation. While outside observing her husband, who will burn in the fire of mystic power along with his pet cottage, his chaste wife will enter the fire with rapt attention.
So here is telling that while Gandhari will see that Dhritarashtra is killing his body, what she will do, she will also enter the fire. And so this is how you don't need to worry about any of them. Right? That's what he is being told. So Prabhupada writes in a purport, Gandhari was an ideal chaste lady, a life companion of her husband, and therefore, when she saw her husband burning in the fire of mystic yoga, along with his cottage of leaves, she despaired. She left home after losing her 100 sons, and in the forest, she saw that her most beloved husband was also burning. How painful it is, right? For her, seeing all her sons die, husband is living. Now she actually felt alone, and therefore she entered the fire of her husband and followed her husband to death. This entering of a chaste lady into the fire of her dead husband is called the sati rite, and the action is considered to be the most perfect for a woman. Now, many times the sati is, opposed and all that, but Prabhupada gives that very clarity in this purpose, so I'm going to read that. In the later age, which is Kali Yuga now, right, the sati rite become a obnoxious criminal affair because the ceremony was forced upon even an unwilling woman. Because if somebody, no, you have to become sati, forced. No, that is not correct. Only if they willingly want to do it, then they will do it. So that is not allowed. Then further Prabhupada writes that as chastely as it was done by the Gandhari, it is not possible for any lady to follow what Gandhari did. It is not possible in this age. Therefore, one should not imitate. And Prabhupada writes that a chaste wife like Gandhari would feel the separation of her husband to be more burning than the actual fire. Therefore, entering fire doesn't even burn them. Can you imagine? We think that how she won't feel pain, but her feeling of separation from her husband is burning her inside so much that this fire is nothing compared to that. Therefore, they enter fire and they don't even feel, they just turn to ashes. But today, it is not possible. We don't have that much burning sensation. Right? Such a lady can observe the sati rite voluntarily, and there is no criminal force by anyone. When the rite becomes a formality, and the force was applied upon a lady to follow the principle, actually it becomes criminal, and therefore the ceremony was to be stopped by state law. So this is the clarity on the sati that sometimes it comes in our mind in discussion. Sometimes people bring up. Then these are the points that we can remember and bring up about this into discussions. So now he's gone. Now there will be another question will come. Oh, Gandhari is gone, Dhritarashtra is gone. Let me go back, bring Vidur. So he's further giving clarity. Vidur will go to pilgrimages. So everybody's clarity is given by Srimad Narad Muni. So you can say, because you might think I will go and bring back Vidur now. Now anyway they have gone. Vidur will not go. So let me. No, you don't need to do that. So let's see what he is saying. Vidurastu tat ascharya Nishamya kurunandana Harsha shoka yutas tasmad Ganta Tirtha Nishevakaha.
Yes, different.
Huh?
Please translate more different.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry.
No,
Even
translation,
sloka is
sorry,
different.
the
Sloka is different.
Sloka,
Sloka.
English sloka.
English sloka. Oh,
Sanskrit
yes.
is correct.
Sanskrit is
Sanskrit
correct.
is correct.
Okay. Avitru, can you read the translation? Very good.
Vidura, being affected with Vidura, being affected with the delight and grief, will then leave that place of sacred pilgrimage.
Very good. Yeah, so he's not only studying now, he'll go to pilgrimage. So you don't have to go after him. He's anyway going to take care. So he's going to pilgrimage. So he'll travel. So you will not be in the same place where he was there before. So here Prabhupada writes in a purport, Vidur was astonished to see the marvelous departure of his brother Dhritarashtra as a liberated yogi. For in the past life, he was much attached to materialism. Vidur was shocked to see that how come Dhritarashtra become so enlightened and he become a yogi and left body like a yogi. Sometimes we see, sometimes there is a story which I think I don't know where I have read it. Somewhere I've read it. It says that they see a devotee in a temple and he is always eating more prasad, trying to be first in the queue, all those things, and they're thinking, what is he doing here? Come on, and that person has left body. And when these people are thinking of where he must have gone, we don't know. He was always anxious about eating more prasad, all these things. And when there's devotee, they are very seems to be very exalted, chanting is absorbed, reading, giving classes, all these things looks very advanced. When they leave body, they go there and they see that devotee is already present in Goloka and they get shocked. Hey, you are here. I think, how come? So, point is that we should not see anybody as somebody who is more advanced. We don't know what's going on with them and how advanced they may be. Externally, everybody looks, wearing tila, kantimala, giving classes and everybody advanced. But there are maybe all of you maybe more advanced than me. So we don't have to think anything like that who is more advanced and all that. Just do our bhajan. And think about, am I better than yesterday? Am I better than yesterday? That is the thought process we should have. We should always see ourselves. Am I improving myself? Month after month, Ekadashi after Ekadashi. That is the way to improve our bhakti. That's the only way to measure ourselves. Right? So Prabhupada writes further, then of course it was only due to Vidur that his brother attained the desirable goal of life. Obviously, Vidur guided him. Vidur was therefore glad to learn about it, but he was sorry that he could not make his brother turn into a pure devotee. See, he got liberated, but still he was not a pure devotee. So he did not get the dham vas, but he was liberated. This was done by Vidur because of the Dhritarashtra's being inimical to the Pandavas, who were all devotees of the Lord. An offense at the feet of Vaishnava is more dangerous than an offense at the lotus feet of the Lord. Because he offended Pandavas who were pure devotee, he was not given this highest position. He was given liberation, but not the highest position. So therefore, offending a devotee is like of a mad elephant. Is an aparad like a mad elephant, which will destroy our bhakti completely. There are so many doers who have fallen down like that, who offend the senior devotee, and their bhakti is gone. They are no way in the devotional practice, completely gone. And that's what our Guru Maharaj says, that devotees are falling like raindrops. And they're falling faster, means they are not practicing sincerely. They are not following the instruction given by the Guru Maharaj. They are offending the devotees. This offending mentality is very dangerous. Offending someone is very dangerous. Our spiritual progress comes to complete halt. Complete halt. And therefore, here also, he couldn't get the full benefit. He was only given liberation. Vidur was certainly very liberal to bestow mercy upon his brother, Dhritarashtra, whose past life was very materialistic, but ultimately the result of such mercy certainly depends on the will of the Supreme Lord in the present life. Therefore, Dhritarashtra attained liberation only, and after many such liberated states of life, one can attain to the stage of devotional service. So even this liberation, many liberation you get, but still you will not get bhakti. Bhakti will come after many such births. So therefore, we should not even think of liberation. Devotee, a pure devotee of Krishna doesn't hanker for any liberation. Sayujya, Samipya, Salokya, nothing. Those are not something that we are after. We are only want to serve Krishna. Only want to serve Krishna. And serving Krishna means what? Serve the devotees here. Now automatically we'll get to learn how to serve. It's like a practicing, right? And serving thing with the love, that is more important. If you see a musician who's playing an instrument, why is playing so nicely? Can anybody tell me why somebody is playing music so nicely? Kavish, why? Huh?
Because he practices.
He practices, okay, what else? Why you want other thoughts? Why somebody is able to play nice music? Why? Yes, Abba? Yes. Because of the love they have for the music, they are putting that effort of practice. They put 18 hours in practicing because love. If I don't love someone, why would I put 18 hours in practice? All these great musicians that you see, they put so many hours. Hare Krishna, please come, please come. They put hours and hours into practice. Hours and hours. When I was listening to one singer's interview, he says, in a saregama, sa and all that, he says his father will put a matchstick, like, the small wooden, and say, sa, like that. He will do for months, he has done like that, just to get the correct sa. Just one sa. This is how we can become. Only because of love you can do it. Otherwise, it's not possible. So because of love, so therefore, when we want to serve Krishna, we need to show the love. And then automatically the service will come best. When we love something, for example, if we love something to do and we do it, how easy it becomes. It's very easy, fast. And also the outcome is much better. But if you do it with force, which you don't love, then it's not so great, isn't it? We have seen all these examples. Prabhupada further writes that Vidur was certainly very mortified by the death of his brother and sister-in-law, and the only remedy to mitigate such lamentation was to go out to pilgrimage. Therefore, he was to pilgrimage. Thus, Maharaj Yudhishthira had no chance to call back Vidur, his Sarvadi uncle, and therefore Yudhishthira Maharaj stayed, and now Narad Muni is leaving. Narad Muni got up from his chair and he's going to go. So let's read the last words. Iti yuktathara iti yuktaruhat swargam Narada sahatam buruhu Yudhishthiro vachastasya Hridi kritva jahat chuja. Robert Prabhu, would you like to read translation?
Yes, Prabhu. Having spoken thus, the great sage Narada, along with his Veena, ascended into outer space. Yudhishthira kept his instruction in his heart and so was able to get rid of all lamentations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Robert Prabhu. So now, Narad Muni is leaving. He has given the instruction to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And now he's going back to his abode. So what is learning that, in this discussion, which is a very profound discussion that happened between Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj, that first of all, we should not think that we are the controller. We are not, we are only the doer. In fact, the power of doing thing also comes from Krishna. We are merely an instrument. And this is one very important message that we should get from this. Because that's the whole philosophy was told to Yudhishthira Maharaj by Srimad Narad Muni. The other important thing that is there is that Yudhishthira Maharaj was also thinking that I am taking care of this, means I am in a superior position because I take care. Sometimes because we help someone. Somebody asks for help, Prabhuji, I need help. We feel that I am superior to someone whom we are helping, which is also very dangerous.
Is that mode of goodness example?
It is mode of goodness, but then it breeds pride,
Right.
and which is not good. For example, if he is taking help from someone, okay, if I'm taking help from someone, and let's say tomorrow that I become higher, and somebody's taking help from me, okay, and I feel, hey, chalo, theek hai, I'm helping him out of compassion. All right, okay, yeah, theek hai, he doesn't know, I will help him. But let's say that person advances than myself, then I should be able to respect that. No, he advanced. Will I be able to do that? That is a test. That is a test. When somebody who we thought that he is not very advanced, but now suddenly becomes very advanced, then are you able to digest that situation? That is very difficult, actually. Very difficult. Right? In our company, in the material world itself, it happens. Like if somebody who joined later and become promoted and goes, must have some connections, all thought comes. It's okay, that is material, but in this world, it is even difficult. Spirituality is even more difficult. Because somebody who doesn't know how to play kartal, suddenly now he's playing in a kirtan mela. What is this? We both joined together. It's like, college students who both leave from the college, one has become CEO and I'm still a program manager. They say, what happened? I'm still program manager. But in spiritual world, it is not like. So we should always see that if somebody advances, we should feel joyful. And when we feel joyful, then Krishna will be pleased. And Krishna will shower more mercy. But if we become envious, envy has no place in bhakti. Envy has no place in bhakti. So here Yudhishthira Maharaj was thinking that I am taking care of Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, they are helpless. So he was feeling that superiority complex. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj was instructed by Narad Muni. And therefore, all of us, we need somebody whom we can approach and seek guidance. We must have someone who we can go and ask for clarification. This is my doubt. What to do? How should I react, or what should I do in this situation? Please provide guidance. So we all need somebody in our life. And we must have that by now, because we have been practicing for many years now. We should have someone who we can call, talk to them, go to their home and say, I need some help. Please provide me guidance. So this is required. Because philosophy is not just theory. Philosophy is not theory. We should be able to implement that in our life, especially when the demanding situation comes. And the advancement, our advancement can be seen by how quickly we are able to apply that philosophy in the spur of a moment. An expert driver is not somebody who's driving properly and is doing everything, following signal. No. Expert driver is if there is a situation when something is going to happen, how he saves the accident. That is an expert driver. Not just, I have no tickets. I've been driving for like 10 years, no tickets. That's fine. That's good. But that's not the best driver. Best driver is one who is able to avoid an accident. When the situation is very, very difficult, something suddenly comes. What do? That's where the knowledge, everything comes. So similarly, our philosophy also, if we are able to apply that in a spur of a moment, in a situation that is what, and that can only come through practice, by listening, reading, regularly, all these things. That shows our sadhana. Like he sees Amaranda Prabhu quoting sloka from here, there, every suddenly start his quote verses. How does it come? It's not easy because he's 24 hours absorbed only in that, doing that practice. That's why automatically the output will come. Right? We can see Gauranga Dasan Prabhu when he came, he was speaking. I mean, sloka will come like, the river of sloka, one after another, one after another. I mean, it's like walking Bhagavad. They speak so beautiful katha. And everybody get absorbed. Nobody wants to even move. So this comes through a very strong sadhana. And we should try to become, we don't have to compete with anybody. We should just become better ourselves. Am I better version from what I was 1 month ago? That's what we should see. Right? So with that, we'll pause here. And from next week, we will go to the verse, chapter number 14, which is also a very nice chapter. Because now Krishna is now leaving. But does Krishna really leave? That's a question we'll see next week. So we'll stop here. Anybody has any comment, any correction, or any question? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, when is Kartik month starting?
Kartik month is still 1.5 months. I think
November 2nd.
November. Yeah, November.
November 2nd.
It's starting on middle of October.
Yeah.
Middle of October or the end of October?
October 16th to November 15th is what it says.
No, I don't know. I have to see exact one it is ending.
Yeah, Damodar Mas.
Yeah, Damodar Mas is beginning when?
16th or 17th about something. I thought
Okay.
2 days.
Hmm.
October 16th or 17th.
Right.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu kevacha paditanaam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Parivrashya ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Robert. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.